What's up everyone, welcome to another video in the Python basic series. In this video we'll see how loops work, how while loops work actually in Python. So a loop is a construct which helps us do a certain task a given number of times. So for example, if you want to print something 100 times or 1,000 times, then you would want to use loop because you can't write the print statement 1,000 times, obviously. Also, if you want to, let's say, print out numbers from 1 to 1,000 or something like that, you would have to use a loop to make your life easier because you can't, again, code it down. So let's go ahead and see how while loops work in Python. So uh, the syntax of while loop in Python is like this. You write the while keyword. After that, there is a condition which evaluates to boolean, either true or false. So if this condition is true, you can write a block of code here. You can print something, you can do all kinds of other things here, and whatever you do, so these are like lines of code, and whatever you would write here, it would be executed as long as this condition is true. Once this condition is false, it would automatically come out of this block and this code won't be executed anymore. So for example, in place of condition, if we give it a condition like a less than 10, as long as this value of a would be less than 10, this something would be printed on the screen. But right now, since we don't have a variable named a, let's create one and give it a value of 1. And here we might want to change the value of a, because if the value of a does not change, it's going to be 1 forever, and 1 is always going to be less than 10. So something would be printed on the screen infinitely many times. So that's something that we call an infinite loop. So if we go ahead and just run this, it would be something on the screen many times, and we can go ahead and do that. So you can see that something is being printed, and it's gonna keep printing something. So you can see that I'm trying to bring it down here, but then it's going up again, meaning that it's still printing. You can also see the asterisk here. It means it's still executing. Here also you can see the hourglass, which means that it's still executing. So we would have to forcefully stop this program by going to kernel and interrupt. So now it's finally stopped. Okay, so but we don't want to do that for now. Let's say that we want to print something 10 times or 9 times. So we would say a plus is equal to 1, and this is same as writing a is equal to a plus 1. This is just the shorthand notation of this, so it doesn't matter which one you use, it's the same thing. So but people would prefer to use this notation because it's more precise and means the same thing. So if we do this, you can see that it's printing something 9 times, and that's because when the value of a would be incremented to 9, it would still be less than 10. But when it goes here again and the value of a is 10, then 10 is not less than 10, it's actually equal to 10. So if we want to print something 10 times, then we would have to add an equal to sign here, because then that would mean that a can be less than and equal to, I mean less than or equal to 10. So this would print something 10 times. We can go ahead and see that, and we see that it's 3, 6, 9, 10 times. Perfect. So instead of printing something here, we can do anything really. Like we can print a itself. And okay, we did not change the value of a, sorry. So we would have to do this, and it's printing 1 to 10. And this could be anything, it doesn't have to be 10, it could be 1 to 100. So it's going to print numbers from 1 to 100 and so on. So let's make a more practical program which would be useful. So let's make a program which would print a multiplication table of a number. So for example, let's say our number is 5 and we want to print the table of 5. So there would be a multiplier, because number 5 would be multiplied by something and its value is going to change. So this is the variable which is going to change from 1 to 2 to 3 up to 10. So we are going to initialize it with 1, and we are going to write while multiplier is less than and equal to 10, and we are going to print here number times multiplier. Okay, so if we do that, okay, we're not changing the value of multiplier, sorry again. So we would have to say multiplier plus equals to 1. Okay, so we see that it's printing the table of 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20 up to 50, and that was so easy using the while loop. And I mean, you could say that, yo, oh man, I could have just written print 5, print 10, print 15, or print 5 times 1, print 5 times 2, 10 times. But then what if you had to print the multiplication table of 5 to 100? Then it would be a lot of work, right? So you would always prefer using loops if you want to repeat a task a certain number of times. So let's make it a bit pretty using formatting. So what we can do here is we can say curly braces open close multiplied by curly braces open close equal to curly braces open close, and we can write format number comma multiplier comma number times multiplier. So this is going to print, okay, it's pretty. So 5 times 1 5, 5 times 2 10, 5 times 3 15, and so on. Okay, so this is printing the table of 5. Also let's make it more generalized by saying number is equal to integer input. So here you can take an input from the user and you can say enter the number. So whatever number the user inputs, you are going to get the multiplication table of that number. So let's go ahead and run that. Let's type 7. It's printing the table of 7. Let's go ahead and type 18. It's printing the table of 18, and so on. So that's a practical use of the while loop, and there's all sorts of applications of loops. So in the next video we'll see how for loops work, and I would recommend you to make more programs using while loops, something like this, or it could be anything. You could think of something. So maybe try printing all the even numbers from 1 to 1000. Try doing that for an assignment. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.